They said Gray paved the way, changed the rate, released the pain, least Hussein getting paid, trend setting, brighter days, doper rap, tighter sets, high in Delhi, I'm a fighter jet, Germany.
Yo, that's my shit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. We had a little hiccup and we went back into it. I was gonna do the typical, but re-listening to it, it puts me into like that old, you know, like when back in the days when the people used to go to like the hamburger joints and the girls were on the roller skates and all that. Like it made me, it's like a Back to the Future kind of thing, but they're not in for our fucking Back to the Future talk. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, NXT, we've been covering it. So anytime somebody does a crossover, we jump in. Muffins Martinez, Rob K, Urban Wrestling Network, MLW Confusion. Y'all know what it is, man. So listen, gentlemen, I already forgot his name, and I apologize. And when I referenced Gene Wilder as Regal's son, I know his last name is Dempsey.
Dempsey.
Charlie Dempsey. And it's crazy because I literally, right before we came in here, I had the same fucking shtick with them where I can't remember his name. They tell me, I forget already. But listen, Charlie Dempsey, Izzy Dame, and what's the other homie's name?
There's one more guy, and I can't never remember his name at all.
Random NXT guy number 3 comes in, and they put the beats on some Impact people. Now, this kind of feels like how Rob K, before we hit record, said it would look like an NXT invasion, right? They come in, they throw some beats to some people, and, you know, I'm all for that, especially with Regal's son, who I've had to do my homework on because I don't know a lot about him. Kid looks good in ring. Like, I really like what I see. He kind of has that, like that European brawler kind of thing, like the, you know, when you walk up and put the beats to people.
Just like his father.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, chip off the old block, you know what I mean? But I love what I see. I love a good beat down, and we're getting a what wrestling people would call a slow burn into this crossover. We've gotten a little sample in NXT with Jordana Grace and Joe Hendry and Kazarian. We had who fought Jordana Grace at the pay-per-view?
Tatum Paxley.
There you go. So we've seen her. So we're getting an influence little by little, just I guess testing the waters, see how it is, what's the fan base is going to be reacting to things, and it has been nothing but positive. Who wants to go first and talk the beat down and what you guys might be thinking, what's going to happen with NXT and TNA and possible Rascals reunion? Talk to me, fellas. I don't care who goes first. I think he's looking for Homeboy's name.
He's on his phone, so I'll jump in.
Yeah, the other guy is Miles Bourne.
Miles Bourne, like Jason Bourne?
Did they steal that from the French card game?
Well, it's Miles P-O-R-N-E, so Miles Bourne, and he's part of the No Quarter Cash Crew.
Oh, so he's part of Charlie Dempsey's group.
Yeah,
okay.
Another guy. So.
Okay.
What's the group called?
No Quarter Cash Crew.
No Quarter Cash Crew.
No Corner Cash Crew?
Catch. Like
catch.
Catch. The
I was
graps.
about to say,
real graps.
Ooh, I have an accent. I
heard cash, and I was like, yo, why does it sound like some drug dealers running corners?
Yeah,
like
No
Quarter Cash Crew?
Catch Crew.
Yeah, bro, you gotta, you know, slow it down.
Dude, I have an accent
when you're saying what you're saying.
It's the NXT response to the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yes.
And with Drew Gulak trying to be serious, because that's what Drew Gulak likes to do, is be serious all the time.
Well, Drew Gulak's no longer there, so
yeah, he's been let go, or his contract expired, depending on which batch of news you want to believe. Yeah, but we had talked previously about like the shape in which this NXT-TNA relationship was going to be, and kind of like sputtered on like the direction of what we thought and how it would benefit both companies, mostly because of how TNA tapes it tapes Impact in its pay-per-view cycle. And I think we just got our answer to that, is like it doesn't, they're just going to jump right into things, like, and you know, I'm not sure when it's going to air, but the fact is that it happened, you know, shows that it's not just going to be TNA guys just showing up to NXT. And I also want to, like, because this is more my expertise than actually watching NXT. I'll out myself as I'm not a regular viewer of NXT. I can pick out names here and there, but one name that keeps popping up everywhere is Charlie Dempsey. Obviously, the WWE sees a lot in young Dempsey because they have sent him all over the place. In this new world of WWE, where they're allowing their workers to work independents and companies outside of WWE, it seems Charlie Dempsey is the one that's doing things. They've sent him to Japan for All Japan Pro Wrestling, which is a big effing deal out there. He got to participate in not the last Bloodsport, but the WrestleMania weekend Bloodsport as well. So like he got to participate in a GCW sponsored event, and then now he's at least in the interim, at least leading the NXT side of things of a TNA invasion. So obviously, like even if he's not like the guy in NXT storyline wise, like he is kind of like the guy that WWE/NXT like is viewing as like a really big part of their future, at least indirectly, because they're allowing him to go out there and get this experience that he's not getting within the walls of the Performance Center by itself. But yeah, so like that's crazy go nuts, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not familiar with Izzy Dame or Miles Bourne, I believe you said, which blows my mind because I'm pretty sure they just ripped that off from a French card game called Mills Bourne. But you know, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so things are taking an interesting turn. So we are getting to see the invasion going both ways. Though this is, I feel like this is, like, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, closer, like this is like the first direct strike that hasn't come just via like, hey, TNA is here, or like, hey, we're just showing up. Like this is an actual like, we're showing up and wrecking things, and this is the first thing about that. So I'm curious to see like how that turns out. Whereas things have been seeming pretty amicable for the most part on the TNA side. Like, hey, yeah, we got like we're here, like we're legit, and then now we have Charlie Dempsey and crew showing up, basically saying, "Nah, son, there's only NXT." So I'm interested to see like how this on-screen relationship has soured, at least storyline wise.
Yeah, I mean, we really have.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, we just finished with the Forbidden Door, the New Japan Wrestling show with AEW. So the Forbidden Door is already came and went. The Forbidden Door thing is already done. You already have New Japan Wrestling, CMLL. You have all these other places coming to the United States, so it's not a secret thing anymore. There's no more like excitement anymore. They'll really to the next step. They'll say, forget the Forbidden Door. We're doing the intergalactical portal that we're gonna do now, and we're gonna allow Jordan Grace to come to NXT. They had the humongous match. We went and saw Tatum Paxley down in one of the last shows that they had pay-per-view go against Jordan Grace, and they said, well, let's take a little further now. Now, like Bob Kane mentioned, now they went taped because that's what TNA does, and they send Miles Bourne, they send Patrick Dempsey, and they send Izzy Dane. Now we don't do any spoilers, but it was all over the net when Charles Dempsey came out, pictures and videos all over on Twitter. So we saw that. The ones I see is Miles Bourne, so there's something going to happen while he's there, and that's later on. And like Rob K mentioned, we don't know when that's going to air. They air on Thursday, so we don't know exactly when it's going to air. The good thing about it is that it's going to lead up to July 20th, Slammiversary down in Montreal. So hopefully something will happen there at that live pay-per-view in Montreal. Right now they have Jordan Grace go up against Ash by Elegance again for the Impact title. So I'm guessing something might happen there where somebody comes out from WWE and NXT and costs Jordan Grace the title, or she becomes victorious and someone comes in as the new challenger for Jordan Grace, maybe in the future at one of those IE pay-per-view shows they do once a month. So possibilities are endless when it comes to this. At least we know now that WWE NXT is taking the initiative that it's not going to be a one-way thing with TNA coming over. WWE is coming there too. Even though it's taped and we're gonna see them as spoilers. They said we're gonna do the same thing you guys doing, and we're gonna slowly and surely build this relationship going forward. So let's take baby steps and then not jump in with both feet in, or let's have all our eggs at once. So it's baby steps here right now with what they're doing, and hopefully Slammiversary something happens. Maybe something might happen at this Sunday's Heat Wave NXT show. PLE, something might happen there. We don't know. Something might happen at Slammiversary. Something might happen at the next show. So right now we're at speculating what might happen, but right now WWE is not jumping both feet in, and definitely are taking their time to see how this is going to go and what effect it's going to have. But right now, NXT is definitely did something that no one else will ever think about doing, and that was another company come into their show with the championship belt and being acknowledged on the different show. Like, oh shit, this is Jordan Gray, the Impact Women's or whatever, the KO's champion. Dude, that's never happened. We still hasn't happened at AEW, except if you go for New Japan Strong, United States, or CML stuff.
So like, and I like how Rob K mentioned that Charlie Dempsey is kind of like a workhorse, right? Like, he's the guy that they're sending out to put in work. He's honing his skills too. But
one more thing, like jumping off Rob K, he mentioned what the workhorse. You have AJ Styles going to what is it, New Japan? No.
N.W.A.
N.W.A, yeah.
N.W.A. You have Io Sky hitting Marigold. You having the Queen of Spades and the both Creed brothers going to hit GCW. So right there is showing you that now once that Uncle Vince is gone, and TKO is saying, let's all go in here and now let's open up this gate so people don't think that it's all about us. We are the universe. We are the universe. Everybody knows that. But we're going to let the universe come out and play with everybody else, so that way everybody sees that we play nice with other people. Now,
there's also,
if they're going to let people come into their company, that's a different story. But at least they're letting people from the league go out and venture out and kind of slowly open that door and see how things work.
Yeah, and it's not just those, because there's two people right now that are going to be on Bloodsport as well, on that Josh Bishop Bloodsport.
Yeah, the Creed brothers and the
Queen that's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, the Creed brothers and the Queen of Spades. Who, I mean, she was there and she fought Marina Shafir and beat her at the last show. So her going back again, that's going to be huge. And now the Creed brothers, who are legit power ground wrestlers, amateur wrestlers, that's going to be interesting to see their matches.
Yeah. So WWE is doing their thing, right? I think that one of the big points, like, yeah, Jordana Grace coming over was cool, defended try to get the belt and all that. That was the beginning of it. Joe Hendry's numbers, I think, really put a spark to whoever's behind the WWE wall. That's like, holy shit, look what Joe Hendry just did. And I'm not saying, listen, Joe Hendry would get what?
I was going to say about that. Doing commercials, they're singing the damn song. I mean,
yeah.
It's being put out there that Joe Hendry's song is being sang by the WWE crowd at the NXT place there. So they might want to jump at this quick coming up and bring him in and see what numbers he could do, because they said it was a record number for the WWE NXT YouTube page or WWE.com. I mean, like 12 point something million at one point and still growing.
I imagine. I actually, if I'm going to speculate wildly, it wouldn't surprise me if he makes an appearance. I don't know when we're releasing this, so at the next takeover,
well, this will be Fridays.
Okay, Fridays. So this coming weekend's takeover, because doesn't he have a beef with Ethan Page, and Ethan Page is in the main event?
Yes. So.
Oh, Rob is trying to hit on something here. Listen, we're going to be live for this, right? We're going to be live. We're going to talk our shit. I love everything that's going on. If people go, well, they're not sending their bigs to Impact, right? And you go, well, hold on.
Not yet.
Not yet. But at some point, to be honest, I don't think you need the top 2 guys and the top 2 girls to be coming over to Impact. It doesn't matter. Give me good matches, give me good stories, and let's build on this. And I'll take that over a name any day of the week. Right?
Well, and both rosters are deep enough that like you can kind of like keep the main event scene away from each other, which I think would benefit both companies the most, because you don't necessarily want, either brand's champion losing per se to Invader. So if you just keep it in the mid card and like let other things do, because like there's other chunks in there, because you referenced the top of the segment, the Rascals. What are we going to see a reunion? Are they going to play party lines with that? Like, are they going to end up feuding with one another? Like, who knows? We got stuff like we can mine in here, and this can make for a very entertaining mid card. Meanwhile,
and let's be honest. We're going to be honest about here. We talk shit and we throw stuff out there, and I'm going to be honest. WWE doesn't need anybody else.
No.
Let's just say that out there. They don't need anybody else. So with doing NXT, it's just throwing a little lifeline just to see what happens, plus to get more fans watching the product. Is it going to help TNA? Is it going to bring more eyes to the fans and the website? Everything now is about doing numbers on the internet. So everything has to go viral. If it goes viral, then it is working. So no, they're not going to send their top SmackDown or their top Raw guys out there. No, they're not going to do that. That's why they got NXT. We're going to do this slowly, and we're going to see and build it up. And you see in the future, if it becomes to the point that everybody's going crazy and bringing millions, dude, let's be honest. I wouldn't even be surprised if this thing going on, and in the Royal Rumble, you see guys from TNA and females from TNA jump into the Royal Rumble because it's been successful so long building up to that point that they're saying, wow, imagine if they bring some TNA guys or some more TNA females into this. And then imagine WrestleMania next year, because it's been a year since this started, and it gets to the point that people, wow, want to see something. Then stuff starts making sense. But right now, this is all baby steps. And it's NXT doing the baby steps. It's all, if it goes viral, the number is all about the numbers. TKO is definitely looking at the numbers, and they having Triple H and Stephanie McMahon look at this from a business standpoint, because it's a business. It has to make sense. If it makes sense, it makes dollars. It's that simple. I
think you guys are definitely like the hardcore wrestling fan base, and I'm just casual, right? So, to me,
dude, I'm gonna shit myself if something like that happens.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I like the fact that some guys that might not be getting a lot of work in NXT, that are NXT guys, can go to TNA and put that work on and be seen, hone their craft, and you start seeing them on what's considered WWE's minors versus Impact's majors. So if this guy could do it here, or this girl could do it here, maybe we'll take a longer look at her and think about pushing her up, because look at the work she's putting on with them. So I like everything that's going on. And like I agree, baby steps. I think everything you guys said is 100% facts and on target. As for WrestleMania, I don't think I want to see that in a year. Like, give me some other pay-per-view, the Survivor Series, War Games.
Well, yeah,
I don't know. I think WrestleMania may be a stretch.
I'm stretching now, but maybe even Royal Rumble at the beginning of January.
But it would not necessarily surprise me for them to nab someone for, say, a Royal Rumble, because the precedence is already there with Jordynne Grace, and to a lesser extent Mickie James. Though you could argue Mickie James is still more of a WWE type person, even though she has a very extensive history within TNA as well. But it's
I think with the numbers that Hendry put up, I think there's no male they're going to look at. Like, I don't care whoever their champion is or whoever else is holding what belt. right now what Hendry did Dolo, because and this is taking nothing away from Kaz. I love Kaz. I'm a fan. But that was Hendry's shit. That was fans bought into him. And that was what he pulled. If he comes in this Sunday, I think it's Sunday, right? Or Saturday.
It's Sunday.
If he pulls up Sunday and costs, just say, Ethan the match, and that crowd goes absolutely batshit, you're going to start bringing him back, right? This can't be a week, once a month or once every 3 months. You got to actually go, yo, Impact, I think we might actually want to use him regularly over here. You know, like.
Yeah, and recently, I think 2 days ago, they had one of those guys, the guy who did the first Mike Santana interview. Sit down interview. Who?
Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah. He had Joe Hendry on his show or whatever podcast. And Joe Hendry had told him that him and his friend had bought tickets VIP to go see WWE when they were at their country up there. And they had like a meet and greet with John Cena. And Hendry couldn't make it. So his friend went, and when he got to the front of the line with John Cena, he told Mr. Cena, you know, my friend, we got tickets, he couldn't make it. If I call him, can you talk to him? And John Cena said, yeah. So he got on the phone with Hendry, and Hendry said that he spoke to him for 10 minutes straight. With a humongous line out there. He spoke to him for 10 minutes, and he was asking him questions, and Hendry was telling him that him and his friend had put together like we do, like, well, this is going to happen on the Royal Rumble and shit like that.
Yeah.
But they already had outlined like this thing for the next 2 years, how they saw John Cena. And John Cena took the time to talk to him for 10 straight minutes, having a conversation where there's a humongous line. Shit like that stays in someone's mind when you are young, impressionable fan. And that's what he said. This is how I look at my fans now. When they want to talk, I take the time to talk. So now imagine if this goes back to John Cena, and John Cena wants to do something with Hendry on X, you know, on Twitter, that they get together, you know, call his name and he appears, and boom, there goes John Hendry next to John Cena. Dude, that shit right there, you know, will make numbers on a viral social media thing. And then WWE might take into event like, okay, we're seeing something here that's going on. So little things like that are what pushes the envelope to make things work on a bigger spectrum of wrestling. So I thought that was an interesting story when he said
absolutely.
that.
And Cena taking 10 minutes out of his time is, first off, 10 minutes is a long time.
Dude, on a VIP line, in a VIP line
for John Cena. You know,
John Cena,
this
you want to take
like,
the pictures and get the hell out.
This isn't like 30, 40 people. You know what I'm saying? This is fucking John Cena. So for him to take that time and Joe Hendry get to where he's at, and Cena, 10 minutes changed that guy's life. Now, he'll take that time and give back to fans, where a lot of these wrestlers will be like, hey, just take a picture, whatever, deuces. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Cena. Salute to freaking Joe Hendry. Say my motherfucking name. We got one more topic for you. I didn't think we talked 20 something minutes on this.
Hey man, it's the new thing, man. It's like the new slice of bread, you know?
Yeah. And listen, like I said, anything NXT TNA happens, we're covering it. So it is what it is. Myself, these two crazies. Enjoy your weekend. Happy 4th of July and all that, even though you're late, but we're filming this on Wednesday, so we're not late. We're early, but we're late. Ladies and gentlemen, for myself, we out of here. Deuces.
Deuces.